winter has arrived in the Rockies, and in Denver, Colorado, it's been a cold first 15 minutes for the visiting New England Patriots. The Broncos with a 24-0 lead.
Broncos are just absolutely sizzling out there. You've got to believe that this is the most remarkable start for them offensively in a long time, but credit the defense. 14 of those points on the board directly attributable to big turnovers by their defensive team.
We open the second quarter, 24-0 Denver. The Broncos have it 3rd and 5 at their 22. Craig Morton sends Moses in motion and hands off inside to Preston. Tony McGee drops him at the 22-yard line. McGee showing his speed of foot. Tony from Bishop at 250 pounds, and he matched Preston step for step to the sidelines. So for the first time, the Broncos are going to have to give up the football by a punt.
And something significant, we talked about the advantage of that wind, and the wind is blowing pretty heavily now. Luke Prestridge is going to be kicking right into the mouth of it.
10-man rush. Morgan deep for the Patriots at the 38-yard line. Good snap. Not a bad kick. Fair catch at the 37-yard line, and the Patriots will put it in play there. Morgan elected not to run it back.
Excellent kick by Prestridge into that wind. He really got his foot into that one, and good coverage. The kick was not high particularly. I thought there might be room for a run back, but Denver was down there to cover it nicely.
41-yard punt, no return. Quickly, we'll run down all the scores again for you. Houston beat Oakland 31-17. Pittsburgh rolls at Kansas City 30-3. Tampa Bay edged Detroit 16-14. Miami shut out Baltimore 19-0. Buffalo edged the Jets 14-12. Washington has defeated St. Louis 30-28, and Seattle beat Cleveland 29-24. Tom Owen for the injured Grogan. Good throw. Oh, that's going to be interference. Steve Foley, he knew it. He hit Morgan too soon. That'll be a first down at the Denver 48, the first time New England has the ball in Bronco territory. Other scores, San Diego down by 8 points with 3 minutes left, rallied to beat Cincinnati 26-24. You see that interference call again.
Interference by the defense.
Ball hangs a little bit, and Morgan waiting for it, used to the stronger arm, I think, of his quarterback Grogan. The ball hung a little bit too long. Of course, they're lucky they got off with the penalty. It'll be 1st and 10 on about the 48-yard line.
Owen with Ivory and Cunningham behind him, gives to Horace Ivory. Ivory ducks out of bounds at the Denver 42-yard line with a gain of 6 yards. Randy Gradishar, 53, made the tackle for Denver.
A lot of concern in New England because of the running game, which has not gone well for the New England Patriots. One of the reasons, injuries to Russ Francis. Watch him here, trying to block on Swenson. Swenson just pulls him aside. I don't think he could do that to a healthy Russ Francis. But he does get a piece of someone else. Tom Jackson in pursuit. He's a real fighter, real competitor.
2nd down and 4 at the 42 of Denver. Play action. And Owens going long for Stanley Morgan. Oh, a brilliant play by Steve Foley. Foley just committed interference 2 plays ago, but he saved a touchdown with that left hand. It appeared Morgan was open, and the pass was a little late arriving.
It looked like Owen wasn't quite sure when to deliver the ball. Watch him right here. He wants to throw it, hesitates, then he throws it. He gets it off with plenty of range, but the ball stays high. Foley has time to recover, covers about 4 or 5 steps, makes up the distance, makes a great play.
Pants here reacting to the replay up on the scoreboard. 3rd down and 4. Incomplete as Owen is decked hard as he delivered the football. Don Latimer, number 72, who forced one of the fumbles down inside the 5-yard line, is the man who made the hit. Listen to this crowd cheer the defense.
And Ron Earhart has to wonder, along with Tom Owen, just what in the world they're going to do. They can't get time to throw the football. Punter in. Let's see what he can do with. Maybe he can do something.
Upchurch, 4 yards from the record. Fair catch. Fumble. Recovered by Alan Clark. you can't run that ball back. It's a muff at the 20-yard line. Clark, although he ran it to the 5, you cannot return a muff. As the impetus given by the offensive team, it'll be first down, New England at the 20-yard line.
Dick, I was being facetious when I said maybe the punter could do something, but this is exactly what New England needed, was a break, something that they could hang their hat on. Let's see if the offense can take advantage of it.
Just a minute and 21 seconds into the second quarter. New England with its deepest possession, trailing 24-0. Snow flurries as Tom Owen has both wide receivers left, Morgan and Jackson, and sends Ivory to the right side. 15, and ridden hard out of bounds at the 14 by Charlie West, who's playing for the injured Bernard Jackson at safety. West from University of Texas El Paso, former Detroit Lion. In fact, the Broncos acquired him from Detroit in a trade for tight end Bill Gay.
Louis Wright, fine cornerback for the Broncos, came all the way over to the right side to cover one of those wide receivers. The Patriots trying to take advantage of the fact they had a slower safety on that side. Here he comes again. Maybe they'll try the same play. Let's see.
Second down, 6. No, it's Calhoun the other way. 15, and out of bounds at the 11. Louis Wright, number 20, shepherding the play defensively for Denver. It will be short of the first down. Third down, and call it about 2.5.
Louis Wright, the fastest man on the Bronco roster, runs a 4.4, and absolutely an incredible specimen because he'll come up and hit just like a linebacker. He really is an amazing football player.
And Merlin, unlike the mold of the defensive backs today, he's not short and stocky. He's 6'2". Big play for New England as John Smith warms up on the sidelines. Owen complete to Russ Francis, a first down at the 7-yard line. Wright and Swenson collaborated on the tackle for Denver. Now New England first and goal, trailing 24-0 early in the second quarter. And Francis, with that injured vertebra, gets up slowly.
Francis was very concerned about his back. He said, I can run. He said, there's not much pain, but he said, if I take a shot in the back, and he did right on that play, I don't know whether I'll be able to handle that. But you know who they go to down there in their clutch. He's their money man, and they went right to him. He produced. They've got the first down. They still desperately need the touchdown.
Jackson right, Morgan left, as the crowd chants defense. Cunningham to the 5. There just wasn't a hole for the big fullback of the Patriots. Chavis, Carter, Grant, shoulder to shoulder to block the path, and Gradishar there to back them up.
Dick, there's some amazing statistics on this Denver defensive team. They give up a lot of yardage, but they don't give up many points. And the reason they do that is when they get down into that tough territory, down inside the 20, they are about as tough as any defense in all of football, and you're seeing it right here.
Second and goal at the 5. Gets to the 2-yard line, and just inside the 2. A final score from New Orleans. The Saints will assure themselves at least a tie for first place in the NFC West. They have defeated San Francisco 31-20. New Orleans 31, San Francisco 20 a final. Red Miller, relaxed head coach along the near sidelines. His team leads 24-0. Third and goal at the 2. John Smith, number 1, the place kicker for New England, but Ron Earhart isn't looking for any 3-point chances. He won 7. Cunningham, touchdown. Cunningham is 6'3", and he needed all that height and arm length to score. He literally reached into the end zone for the touchdown.
We've seen some fine second effort by the Bronco backs. You saw it right there, and you'll see Earhart over there to congratulate Big Sam Bam. He gets hit by West at about the 2-yard line. and lays that ball right on the goal line. Touchdown. And you can see the emotion right there. That gets them back part way, but they've got a long ways to go if they're going to climb back into this game.
Matt Cavanaugh to hold for John Smith. And it is good. Just inside the left upright. So with 11 minutes and 46 seconds remaining in the first half, New England has posted its first score, but it's Denver with still a commanding lead, 24-7.
I gotta look good today, and there's nobody here to iron my shirt. Nobody has to. This 100% cotton shirt is fantastic. 100% cotton, but with a special process so I can just wash and wear. This is the shirt that's got it all together. All the comfort of 100% cotton and easy care. Because she promised to love and honor.
But not to iron.
When you're looking for comfort, look for the seal of cotton. The more cotton, the better you feel.
If keeping up with your car is getting you down, fight back with STP. STP gas treatment fights to keep your carburetor clean, and that can help keep your engine running like it ought to. Try STP oil treatment. A recent test with older cars that use a lot of oil proved it reduced oil consumption an average of nearly 15% in those cars. Come on, fight back with STP.
It's a 2-hour comedy special. Disney's The Strongest Man in the World, starring Dick Van Patten, Phil Silvers, Joe Flynn, Eve Arden, and Kurt Russell. Sunday on NBC.
A reminder, NBC brings 2 spectacular suspense movies to television for the first time tonight. Al Pacino stars in Dog Day Afternoon. That'll follow Disney's Wonderful World. And tomorrow night, Gregory Peck, Lee Remick star in the thriller The Omen. That's on NBC as the long kick by Smith. Dave Preston in his own end zone. At the 10, he's out to the 20 and down at the 23-yard line. And also tomorrow night, before you see The Omen on NBC, tune in 8 o'clock Eastern Time, Little House on the Prairie. And Merlin, you have a significant role tomorrow evening.
An exciting show for all of us on Little House as you look at an excited Sam Cunningham. A show called The King is Dead, about an old sideshow wrestler, some of the con that used to take place in the Frontier West. I think you'll enjoy it.
Well, you wind up wrestling him, don't you?
Well, yes, I do. As a matter of fact.
That's tomorrow night on NBC. Denver with a 24-7 lead. Ball at the 23 of the Broncos. Otis Armstrong greeted by Richard Bishop, 64. Boy, Bishop was there right with a handoff.
Interesting, I think, to look back, Dick, and remember that Denver's outstanding first half really started with a special team play. They pinned back the kickoff deep in the territory of the New England Patriots. New England now has made a big play on the kickoff, and they've made a big play on first down. They put Denver in a sure passing situation. They'd love to get a sack right here.
And as the snow continues to fall, one might expect that ball will be tough to handle. Second down, 13. Moses in motion. Morton. Wide open, Riley Odoms. All the way to the 40-yard line and a first down. Some say Odoms, the top tight end in the NFL. So much talent at that position, but the folks in Denver wouldn't trade Odoms for anyone. He has the ability to leap. He is 6'9" high jumper in high school, and what great hands.
And watch again what Craig Morton can do when he has time to throw the football. An all-out rush, and there's Odoms wide open. Morton just puts it on the money. You can't deliver the ball any more perfectly if you would just take it out there and hand it to him.
Right out of the Bronco playbook. First down at the 40 for Denver. 10 minutes remaining in the first half. Upchurch. Complete anyway. Claiborne would have been penalized for an illegal chuck or interference, but since Upchurch caught the ball, it doesn't matter. Out at the 42-yard line of New England.
Claiborne is a very aggressive corner. He can be aggressive because of his great speed.
Illegal contact. Number 26 on the defense. Penalty is declared.
An illegal chuck by Claiborne as Upchurch with all that speed was whistling around him. And again, despite the penalty, it's easy to overlook the fact, Merlin, again, Morton made a perfect rainbow throw. He just dropped that one right in his arms.
Well, certainly one of the things that you will see today, and you've seen it already, is a total a different variety of throws. He'll throw one, he'll zip one, he'll loft one, and there aren't many quarterbacks can make that throw, that particular toss, any better than Craig Morton.
Dave Preston, number 46, going to the Denver locker room, apparently with an injury. First down Broncos at the New England 42. Otis Armstrong tripped up as he crosses the 40-yard line. Down deep for the tackle, Doug Bedoin and Steve Nelson for the Patriots. New England is 7-3 coming in. Their losses, interestingly, 2 of them on the grass, as we indicated, at Green Bay and at Baltimore. And the other defeat on opening night against Pittsburgh in overtime. But no team has jumped ahead quite like Denver did with a 24-point first quarter today.
Well, no one has really handled New England's defense. And, of course, you've got to remember 14 of those points really came off defensive turnovers.
Morton to throw on 2nd and 7. Armstrong at the 40. He has a first down as he charges to the 28-yard line. Oh, he ran right through Rod Schultz, 56.
Dick, and looking down at the field, I have to say that the biggest improvement in these Broncos that we have seen is in the offensive line. Claudia Miner, number 71, watch him right there on Mel Lunsford. Just uses the hands, keeps him away. Paul Howard inside, doing a good job on his man. And again, if you can give Morton time to throw the football, look out.
Morton at 36 can still throw with any quarterback in the NFL. Play action, and he's looking long. Open Upchurch. Touchdown. Rick Upchurch, almost the impossible. And Morton provided with the time as he did a little scramble of his own.
Well, perhaps he heard us say that he was not a mobile quarterback. He's done everything right so far today. Back into the pocket. Has a long time to look at his receivers, and you can't give speedy receivers that much time either. As you watch Upchurch gather the ball in, again a perfect strike. He waltzes into the end zone behind a fine block by Haven Moses.
Jim Turner's point is good. Oh, with 9 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in the first half, the Denver Broncos lead the New England Patriots 31-7.
Antifreeze. You never think about it, or how it has to protect somebody beside you, or what could happen without antifreeze. Stranded in freezing weather and no help for miles. Don't trust your luck. Don't trust the weather. Take out old, weak antifreeze now and put your trust in Prestone too. More people trust Prestone than all other brands combined.
I've been worried about you.
More people trust Prestone. And when you flush your cooling system, trust Prestone Super Flush.
It seems you've raced 1,000 miles, a quarter mile at a time. And every time you've got to prove it all over again. To him, the crowd, and yourself. So you go for it. You go for all the gusto you can get, making the most of now, in your life and in your beer. And the one beer brewed with gusto since 1849 is Schlitz, the official beer of the 1980 Winter Olympic Games. Go for it.
It's the wildest chase ever. Follow that car. As Lobo, Perkins, BJ, Wiley, and Kane all go after $1.5 million. A Lobo BJ special, Tuesday.
Craig Morton has just thrown 28 yards to Rick Upchurch for another touchdown, and Denver leading 31-7 as Turner kicks off for the 6th time in this first half. Let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
This is KING-TV, Seattle.
Turner to Alan Clark at the 7. Clark 20 and down at the 23. Steve Watson 81, but the primary hit from number 50 Jim Ryan from William & Mary, and the veteran George Atkinson 47 also in on the play.
Looking down, I was hoping to catch a glimpse of Steve Grogan, and there I see him on the sideline. He's still walking, still bundled up. But I've got to look up that scoreboard and wonder that even if he was healthy now, maybe Earhart wouldn't want to put him in the game for fear of getting him banged up, because you know that Denver is just turning it loose at this point with that kind of comfortable lead.
Yeah, Tom Owen in an enviable position, knowing that the Broncos are going to tee off on any possible pass situation. Play action. Owen not even close to Stanley Morgan. He may have thrown that one away. Jackson and Louis Wright in the area on the coverage.
Little conversation going between Tom Jackson and the quarterback. Jackson, a very vocal player. He's over there. He had the best shot at that ball. Yeah, there you are.
Just bring him up a little bit.
Come on, fire him up. I can handle it over here. Well, when you get that big a lead, you can afford to taunt a little bit. But I think Jackson's been on the long side of a few of those scores, too.
2nd and 10 from the 23. Owen under a blitz. And a flag is down. Rob Swinson, 51, was in on the New England quarterback, as was the rookie Bruce Radford, number 78. And it's holding New England.
Dick, this game is so totally out of character for these two teams as to almost make it ridiculous. On the year, 43 sacks for New England, 12 for Denver, and yet Denver has been in New England's backfield all afternoon.
That's right. Let's just even underline that point, Merlin. New England leads the NFL. Denver is last in the NFL in pressuring the quarterback, and you just think they put on the wrong uniforms this first half.
Number 74 on the offense. Still second half.
Shelby Jordan, the right tackle, guilty of holding, and the ball now rests at the 13-yard line, and New England trailing 31-7 now is on a 2nd and 20, and you know the Broncos will have something special for Owen, as Steve Grogan still trying to clear his head on the sidelines. Draw to Calhoun, 15-20. And he's out to the 24-yard line. Calhoun, who played with Steve Grogan at Kansas State. Charlie West and Bob Swenson with a tackle. Final scores in the NFL today. The Redskins edge St. Louis 30-28. The Bears from behind defeat Los Angeles 27-23. That means New Orleans is now in sole possession of first place NFC West. Green Bay beats Minnesota 19-7. Some upsets in the National Football League today, and some teams fighting for playoff contention suffering very critical defeats. 3rd and 10 at the 23. Owen almost intercepted. A flag is down in the secondary. Louis Wright was the man going for the ball for Denver. We may have a penalty against the Broncos in the deep secondary. Russ Francis was down around the 40, and that's where the flag fell. Illegal contact against the Broncos will carry an automatic first down. The tight ends around the league have been complaining that the officials this year have not enforced that bump beyond 5 yards the way they did last year.
Number 58 on the defense.
You see the pass
First
right
down.
there.
That's automatic.
New England lucky that Louis Wright didn't pick that one off, as he had his hands on it in a clear field. But it is going to be a 1st and 10 for the New England team. Rob Nairn, you see him there coming in. Joe Rizzo due back in another week, but Nairn has done an excellent job in relief.
First down at the 28-yard line. New England trails 31-7. We're in the 2nd quarter in Denver. Russ Francis hit hard at the 34 by Gradishar, as New England gets 6 yards on the first down completion. Gradishar, 6'3" and 231, and he just makes tackle after tackle after tackle. It'd be quite a debate. A lot of Jack Lambert fans in the East. In the West, they love Gradishar.
Yeah, you couldn't go wrong with choosing either one of those. One of those studs.
2nd and 4, New England at the 34. Owen to Calhoun. What a play by Bill Thompson. The veteran safety from Maryland State invaded the backfield, turned the play in, and then made the tackle as well. All-Pro at 31 years of age. He was a well-kept secret for many years, and now being recognized as one of the top talents in the deep secondary in the NFL.
And a great leader, too. Defensive captain for these Denver Broncos.
Now, he's the only man in AFL history to lead the league in both punt and kickoff returns. He did it as a rookie. 3rd and 5. Blitz. And Owen gets it away. Incomplete, I believe, at the 47. Harold Jackson covered by Wright and West. And Tom Owen just did get that one off as he was buried by Reuben Carter. Carter, who has a touchdown, and that's how the game started on a 3rd down, first possession. Steve Grogan went back to pass, was hit by Tom Jackson, fumbled. Carter recovered at the 2 and rolled into the end zone for a touchdown. Grogan was hurt on the play. Denver got 7 points, and it's been all Broncos since. Hare kicking with the win this time. Blocked! Watson blocks it. Nairn at the 10. Nairn, touchdown! Steve Grogan reflecting on the mood of the Patriots as this crowd stands and cheers. What else can go wrong for the Patriots? And what else more can that defense of the Broncos muster?
I don't think that anyone could have written this kind of script for the game unless they were just an avid Bronco fan. Both teams out of character, but you can believe it, these players in orange are ecstatic at the success of their team so far in this game.
Steve Watson was the man who blocked the punt. Rob Nairn with a touchdown, and with 6 minutes plus remaining in the first half, the Broncos need an adding machine. They lead 38-7.
Chrysler's building good cars, the right kind of cars. And we don't want inflation to stop anyone from buying them.
We want you to see and compare the 1980 Chryslers and Plymouths. So we're making a special introductory offer to our next 100,000 buyers. Get a $300 check direct from Chrysler right now when you buy one of these 1980 Chryslers or Plymouths.
Now, $300 won't convince anyone to buy a car they don't want. But it may convince a lot of people to compare our products. And that's all we're asking.
Mom, we got a present for you.
When you get home. Let's go.
You can install the Stanley do-it-yourself garage door opener in about 4 hours. Everything comes in the box. Just assemble it, put it up, and plug it in.
Surprise.
The Stanley do-it-yourself garage door opener.
Push it.
It's a very nice thing to do for somebody else.
You did it so fast.
We want to help you do things right.
This Christmas, open the door for someone you love. Give a Stanley garage door opener.
On Sports World, the action's the greatest when the Muhammad Ali Boxing Club with heavyweight Tony Tubbs and 2-time Olympian Davey Armstrong scheduled to compete squares off against the Mexico Boxing Club in bone-jarring amateur bouts next Saturday on Sports World.
Checking that Eastern Division standings, Miami with a shutout win at Baltimore today. With New England being bombed in the first half here in Denver, it appears we're going to have a first-place tie in the East after the 11th game, as Turner drives one low down the middle to Clark at the 10. Alan Clark, the rookie, at the 20. 30, and a good return to match his number out to the 35-yard line. Larry Canada, also wearing number 35, made the tackle. 3:35, the 2 men involved in the yard stripe. Denver, with San Diego coming from behind. The fans were cheering here prior to the game with the scores reflecting Cincinnati's lead against San Diego. But the Chargers scored 10 points in the last 3 minutes to win at Cincinnati. So Denver needs this victory to retain its share of first place with the Chargers. Boy, the AFC West appears to have all the makings of being a decision that will be determined in the last week of the season. In fact, doesn't Denver play in San Diego the last week? Yes, they do. Owen complete to Sam Cunningham at the 42-yard line. Officially, credit Rob Nairn with a 23-yard run for the touchdown after Watson's block of Hare's kick.
Dick, I can't help but reflect on some conversations in the locker room of the Broncos yesterday. Almost every Bronco I talked to made some reference to that 42-7 shellacking they took at the hands of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I could feel that it just stuck in their craw. Well, they're certainly making amends for embarrassing themselves on that day with this great performance today.
Cunningham on 2nd and 2, close to the first down. Bryson Manor from Arkansas, the defensive right end of the Broncos, made the tackle. He replaced Lyle Alzado. And some feel the 12 sacks, lowest in the NFL going into this game, recorded by Denver, reflects the loss of Alzado. But Manor has filled in admirably at that spot and is the best pass rusher for this Denver team. It is not a first down, 3rd and less than a yard. Francis and Don Hasselbeck played his college football in this area down at Boulder at the University of Colorado. Book in the line. Ivory and Cunningham behind Tom Owen. Ivory trapped, and down he goes. Bill Thompson made the tackle, but it was Don Latimer, 72, who forced the play wide.
I don't think you could see a better illustration of aggressive team defense than we have seen in this first half. Tremendous penetration by Don Latimer. There's no way to get around that corner when you take him that way.
Merlin on 3rd and less than a yard, and you're down 38-7. Why not gamble and go for a touchdown on that play?
Well, I think perhaps if Grogan had been in the game, they might have. But it changes everything when you've got a second-team quarterback in there, especially one that has not played much.
Upchurch could get the record on this one. He needs 4. He's got it. Upchurch is now the National Football League's all-time punt return champion. He has just surpassed the late Emlyn Tunnell, the great return artist for the New York Giants so many years. Upchurch now holds the NFL record. And that is now being acknowledged by this Denver